on with Dillard and Wibby. Hi, Tony. What are you doing?
Hey, guys. Just stuck in traffic on the 85.
Already?
You guys. Oh, yeah.
It's the West Valley Freeway. It's underrated.
Lord. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I just wanted to comment real quick. I think, I know it must be What If Wednesdays, but I think there's a overreaction to where the Warriors are at. I mean, what were we in, 20-something crunch time games, close games last year? A couple of those go our direction, and that makes up a 3-game difference. You couple that with, the Draymond stuff and Clay having the worst stretch of his career. I think you move Wiggins and you get rid of, you get a little bit younger with some of these ancillary pieces that are around the league that you guys have been talking about all day. I don't think the Warriors are that far off, man. I really don't. Now, the athleticism that's on display in the playoffs the last couple games, no doubt, right? The Warriors, I think the Warriors have to get some of that. I don't think you need an Ant Edwards to get to that point, though. I just think that they just need a little bit of just some little tweaks, and they'll be able to get to where we need them to be.
Hey, Tony. Tony, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's a good call, and I really appreciate you calling. Do you believe what you're saying right now?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
Here's why. Look at the game. Look at some of the competitive games that they had this year.
Yeah.
I know they're one-off games. That Boston game that they have, where Curry saved our asses. I know Phoenix wasn't the greatest team in the playoffs, still playoff team. You look what we did against Phoenix this year, a couple of those games. The Denver games, I think some of them were close. I know they swept us. They were close in those games, too. I don't think they're that far off.
So I guess
really
this is my question for you, Tony, because it's not that you're not making sense. You're making plenty of it, and I think you speak for many. But close games in the NBA are largely the way it works. And when you don't win a bunch of those, I don't know that you get to say, well, we're right there because we lost them, but we were close. Like, the difference between a good team and a bad team in the NBA is those close games, or are those close games. That is what separates. So I just find when my brain kind of goes where you are, I feel like that's and Tony, thank you. I feel like it's a little bit of a dangerous spot. It's a little bit of a dangerous mental spot to be in the, you know what, we're actually pretty good. But there was this, and there was this,
right.
And there was this, and there was this, and that's why we weren't the 6th seed. I would argue 2 things. All of those things are why. They are the definition of why you're not good enough. And oh, by the way, if you do get to the 6th seed, what do you get? You get ushered the hell out in the first round. That's what this year's 6th seed did. This year's 6th seed embarrassed themselves. I don't even know if I wanted the 6th seed, because I think there's a healthy chance that Warrior fans would have really gotten a healthy dose of reality. If the Warriors had played the Minnesota Timberwolves,
yeah,
you might have really gotten a look at how, air quotes, close the Warriors are right now.
Yeah, which is to say, not very close, in my humble opinion. And if you look at the teams that are remaining, the 8 teams, I believe you were a combined 5-18 against those 8 teams, 4 in the East and 4 in the West. I'll double check my math, but I think I'm right. So you could say that you were close, and you could say you played more clutch games than anyone else. You could look at Draymond's absence and, like Guru say, you could have won 7 more games if you had Draymond the whole time, which puts you at 53, which puts you as a top 2 seed, top 3 seed in the West. I don't know if all those things, for me, can be true when you look at a season. And you know me, Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are, and you are what happened over those 82 games. No matter what led you to those 82, that's the way it played out.
And you know that I hate that quote, yet there's also a piece of it that A, I can't argue with, and B, there's a healthy characteristic in there. Now, forget sports for a second. Let's just talk about life. If things don't go your way, even if they're like, ooh, I finished 2nd for that job. Oh, and it keeps happening. I keep coming in 2nd. I make the final round. I went on 3 different interviews.
Oh.
They pick someone else. Or do you golf with someone when every time they hit a bad shot, they've got a reason. There's a gust of wind.
Yeah.
Or, man, that bird started chirping right in my back swing.
I hate that bird.
Okay, you can see what I'm building here.
You're reminding me of prom season where I was, I'd love to go with you, Danny, but, geez, I already have a date.
Yeah.
With who? I don't know yet.
Yeah.
But I have another date.
Your clutch stats aren't that good.
Dude, couldn't score.
So I worry about that.
Yeah.
I worry about that with people when every time you fall short, you blame in something else, someone else, something else. Like the Warriors, just for me, they don't get to do that. We don't get to do, hey, the Warriors are actually awesome and just need a little tightening of the screws because lost a lot of close games. Draymond got himself suspended. Even Tony just said, well, Clay had has a worst stretch of his career. He's been doing this off and on for a while, and I think it's called your 30s.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. So why do we have the delusion of when we come back next year, none of those things will happen?
When they're all a year older.
It could get worse.
And
you know what didn't happen to any of them this year?
I was just going to say that.
None of them had a major injury.
That's right. Clay played 77 games. Chris Paul broke his hand and missed about 20 games, but that's about it. Steph missed just a small handful. You were healthy, and next year you're a year older, and these teams with all those 24 and 25-year-olds, they're still going to be not even at their athletic peak yet.
We're sponsored by the Alameda County Pro